Are you a registered nurse that is currently working overseas but wants to work here in America? Or are you a nursing student pursuing that nursing degree in another country and want to work here in America? Well, this video is for you. The United States has been in a shortage of healthcare workers for years now, specifically though, registered nurses. And this has provided the perfect opportunity for those nurses who are foreign educated to work here in the United States. So if you're a foreign educated registered nurse, you'll want to hear what I have to say. In this context, a foreign educated registered nurse is exactly how it sounds. It's a nurse who obtained their degree outside of the United States. And as I mentioned already, the United States has been experiencing a nursing shortage for years now. And it has not gotten any better these last few years. And this is why the United States has increasingly been looking outside of the United States for foreign educated nurses. These nurses fill crucial gaps supplementing staffing that may not actually be filled otherwise. I even recently worked with some foreign educated nurses in my last travel contract. So let's get into the meat of the video. How can you work in the United States as a foreign educated registered nurse? Let's start with the professional and educational requirements. So just like any nurse who's educated here in the United States, you have to attend an accredited nursing program. This can include a diploma program, associate's program, or a bachelor's degree program. So now that you have finished this program, you need to become accredited in the country in which you plan on working or living before coming to America. And of course, the requirements and the testing is different in every country, so you'll just have to look up your country's requirements on what that is. So once you're licensed, you'll have to have some work experience before coming here to the United States. You will need at least 2 years at minimum of registered nurse experience to even be eligible to work here in the United States. Keeping in mind that if you work in a small little rural community hospital or a nursing home and you apply to work here in the United States in a super busy emergency room, you may have a hard time trying to get here to work. So of course, make sure what you're working in currently is your goal to work in here in the United States. So that was step 1, go through your accredited nursing program and become licensed. Step 2 is completing the foreign educated nurses course. Now this is not required in every state here in America, so make sure you look up the individual state in which you want to work, but this is required by some states. Step 3 is completing an English proficiency test. If you're from a country whose primary language is English and you attended a program that's primary language was English, you may be exempt from this step. So moving on to step 4, this is the hardest part, we would all say here, and I think you can agree, is passing the actual NCLEX exam. When you apply to take the NCLEX, make sure you are applying to the state in which you want to work. The NCLEX test, NCLEX RN test, costs $200 to even sign up for, but there are additional foreign fees they tag on to that. And let me tell you where the NCLEX tests are currently being offered. They are being offered in Australia, Canada, England, Germany, Hong Kong, India, Japan, Mexico, Philippines, South America, and Taiwan. Now step 5 gets very tricky, and this can be a little challenging and a little confusing. You will have to have a company evaluate your credentials. There's a link in the description of this video that further elaborates on all of these steps, but definitely this one you'll want to take a look at. So the state boards of nursing hires this company by CGFNS, which means Commission on Graduates of Foreign Nursing Schools, to evaluate your application. This company runs 3 credentialing reports, and those are the Credentials Evaluation Service Professional Report, the CGFNS Certification Program, and the Visa Credentialings Assessment, or Visa Credentials Assessment. Each of those credentials, those 3 that I just named, comes with a fee, and it adds up to being just over $1,300. And there may be other credentialing services out there that are cheaper, but make sure you check with your board, your state board in the state that which you are applying, that they accept that credentialing office. So now that you've gone through all of that, that was the really confusing, can be challenging part. Now it's time to find an employer. Staffing agencies are more well known to work with foreign educated nurses rather than hospitals themselves, but I have seen only hospitals themselves. I've never seen a staffing agency. So hospitals themselves can be your employer too. So now that you have found an employer, now let's move on to step 7, and that is obtaining your visa, or also known as a work visa. And there are different types again of working visas or visas, so make sure you are obtaining the correct one. Again, there is a link in the description of this video that further elaborates on that. So now you have your visa, and now it's time to actually find that job. Now, if you're not using a staffing agency, you probably already found your job. But if you are using a staffing agency, now it's time to actually apply and get that job. And there are so many websites out there that have direct links to hospitals themselves, or like Indeed.com has a list of tons and tons and tons of nursing jobs that are open. Working in the United States as a foreign educated registered nurse definitely is a bit of a process. But if the goal of yours is to work in America or live here in America, then it's worth it. And America's in need of well-qualified nurses to fill these staffing shortage positions. So if you are foreign educated and want to work here in America, please comment down below where you are from. I would love to see who this video is reaching and where it's reaching here in the world. But that's it for today, everyone. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel and give this video a big thumbs up. It helps get this video out there to other viewers just like yourselves. But other than that, that's it. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.